got some really shocking news, Nate, and I'm always shocked when this type of news comes out. Whenever a longtime player leaves their team and ends up going to a rival team, I'm always shocked. But we talked about what Albert Pujols today, and we're going to talk about it again. Ryan Kerrigan, a longtime Washington football player, is now joining the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, this is a day that I don't think Washington football team fans wanted to see, but he's joining the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the all-time leader in Washington football history or Washington Redskins history because again they've been a very historic franchise. He is the all-time leader in sacks, which is 95 and a half, and he has 147 QB hits as well. Although last year wasn't his best year, he only started one game and he played 38% of the defensive snaps. However, regarding the little time that he had on the field, Nate, he was still able to record 5.5 sacks and 5 lost tackles, which if you ask me, Nate, I think that's pretty impressive. He actually made a quote here, Nate. He said, and I quote, I know I probably wasn't your favorite player over the past decade, but Eagles fans, I'm fired up to be playing for you guys now. LFG. Um, and yeah, Nate, I mean, he is joining a rotation with Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, and Josh Sweat. And he also made another quote. He said, and I quote, they've got Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett, guys who are entrenched and are bona fide studs in this league. But I know they rotate their guys a lot. Whether I'm a starter or a reserve, I still imagine I'll get a lot of playing time. That was a big thing for me. And obviously, when you look at the defensive line for Washington, Nate, they have a very, very great defensive line. They really do. When you look at that defensive line, they have obviously Chase Young and Montez Sweat, and then they drafted this year William Bradley King and Shaka Tony, who are two very good prospects. So Washington, they for a long time it seemed like they were really moving on from him. It seems like the new guys were coming in and taking those spots, and Ryan Kerrigan just didn't get a lot of playing time in Washington, which ended up coming to the result of him going to Philadelphia. But regardless, though, Nate, he's already made his footmark in Washington history, as one of the best defensive players to come out of there. But honestly, Nate, I'm gonna pass it on to you first. But before I pass it on to you, I just want to say the writer of this article was Tim McManus, ESPN staff writer. So you start off first, Nate. Your thoughts on Ryan Kerrigan joining the rival NFC East team in the Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh, first of all, congratulations to Ryan Kerrigan, and I wish him the best of luck in Philadelphia. Yeah, Mario, it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are trying to rebuild. They got rid of Carson Wentz. Now Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco, of all people, are fighting for QB1 position, which I'm not so sure how that's going to work, but whoever gets the QB1 position, I wish them the best of luck. They also ended up drafting Devontae Smith, which, hopefully doesn't end up being a bad draft pick. The Philadelphia Eagles in the first round was never, they were never always meant as a team that was good at drafting people in the first round. So hopefully, and I do have hope for Devontae Smith. I do think that Devontae Smith will turn out just fine in Philadelphia. But if there hasn't been this is the perfect chance for the Philadelphia Eagles to rebuild. They've been trying to get this team back for a while now, and they just haven't had any luck with it. It's just been nothing but experiments, nothing but 9-7 seasons. And now they just need to capitalize. Now that Doug Peterson's out there, they got themselves a new coach. I believe their head coach is Nick Sirianni, if I'm correct. Am I?
Yeah,
that's their head coach, is it?
Yes.
Yes. So and he was the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, if I'm correct on that. So
I believe so. I'm gonna double check for you one more time.
Yeah, I believe he was. And if that's the case, you got yourself a good coach right there. You're getting good players like Ryan Kerrigan. You drafted good players like Devontae Smith. Now this is your chance. You know what I mean? This is your chance to make your mark on the league once again, and do what you got to do to get yourself to that next level moving forward, and obviously, you obviously compete with other teams in the NFC East, the Washington football team. They still got a top 5 defense in the league. The Dallas Cowboys, we always make fun of them. And even though we make fun of them, they're still a good team if they got it all going on 4 cylinders. And then there's the New York Giants, who I honestly don't even know what's going on with them. But, now is the perfect chance to capitalize, and the Philadelphia Eagles are doing just that. But, you just never know with the NFC East. We always say that Dallas Cowboys are going to win it every year, but then last year, a team with no name won the damn division. So I don't even know what's going to happen in the NFC East. I just don't know what to expect because every damn team in there is trash. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm just messing around. But look, with that being said, best of luck to Ryan Kerrigan in Philadelphia. I'm sure Washington fans are probably not happy about this. Not probably. They most likely aren't happy with this. So I feel for you. But I wish Rayan Kerrigan the best of luck in Philadelphia. Same thing with the Eagles. I wish them the best of luck. And same thing with the football team. I wish them the best of luck as well. And we'll just see what happens, Mario.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, again, I wish Ryan Kerrigan the best of luck in Philadelphia, and congratulations to him. Like he said in the quote, he believes that he will get a lot of playing time or more playing time at least with Philadelphia than he did Washington. And he said that was a big thing for him going there. But honestly, Nate, when you look at Ryan Kerrigan's stats in Washington, he obviously had a legendary impact in Washington. I do think this man will be a Hall of Famer someday. I truly believe that. First ballot, I'm not sure, but I think he will be a Hall of Famer. And Ryan Kerrigan, he has. There's been a lot of rumors circulating about where he might go, but those rumors can end now because he's going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, a team that really needs help with defense, and all around, I think they need a little bit of help with everything, but defense is definitely one of those things. And having Ryan Kerrigan, a guy who could really make an impact, and if you give him more time, I really do think he can do a lot of good things. But I mean, like I said, I'm always shocked when this type of news comes out because when players leave their teams, when players leave a team that they've been with for so long, it always is a shock. But when they go to a rival, it makes you think as like a person. It makes you really think like, wow, like this man is going from one team to the rival. I wonder what that's going to lead up to. And we've seen it a lot in sports. We've seen like Brett Favre, his move from the Packers to the Vikings. That was obviously a big thing. You look at like Deion Sanders, he played for like the Cowboys and the Niners, who at the time they weren't they weren't they weren't the friendliest teams towards each other. So it's happened for so many times, so many years, Nate. But when you really look at it, this really is a shock that he's going to be going to the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, it's going to be weird kind of seeing Ryan Kerrigan in green. After seeing him so many years in red and yellow, it's going to be kind of weird to see him in green. But again, regardless, he found, again, I talked about it. When opportunity calls, you answer that phone. When it knocks on your door, you let it in. And it's as simple as that. And Ryan Kerrigan found an opportunity and he took advantage of it. Now, again, you took advantage of going to a team that can give you more playing time. But now you need to take advantage of that playing time as well, which Ryan Kerrigan, he's a veteran of the game. He will probably definitely take advantage of that time. And if he had 5.5 stats, Nate, with just staying on the field for 38% of the defensive snaps, there's no doubt in my mind, Nate, that he could absolutely have a big impact in Philadelphia if they give him more time. No doubt about it. And like you said, if I'm a starter or a rotational player, it doesn't matter. If you give him that time, I think if you give him more time, I think he'll start producing better stats than what he did last year. And he only started one game last year. But regardless, like you said about the Philadelphia Eagles, and you are right, Nick Sirianni, he spent 3 years as an offensive coordinator for the Colts. But when you really look at it, Nate, the Philadelphia Eagles, they are really rebuilding. They got a new head coach. They got a new quarterback. They have a new wide receiver in Devontae Smith. Defensive wise, it looks like the same team, but I feel like they really are slowly building on it. So when you look at it, Nate, the Philadelphia Eagles are making moves, and the NFC East are making moves, all of them, But when I look at the NFC East, I still got the Washington football team coming out of it as winners. Because I say to myself, if they can do what they did with that insane defense that they have, if they can do that with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who in my opinion last year, okay, had a better season than Alex Smith. In my opinion, he had a better season last year than Alex Smith. And don't get me wrong, Alex Smith, an amazing comeback, one of the greatest comebacks of all time in sports history. But when you look at the stats, you cannot deny that Ryan Fitzpatrick had a better season. And he didn't even play the whole season as a starter. Two ended up taking over. If they can do what they did with Alex Smith, there's no doubt about it. They can do what they did with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, obviously, the other question is Dak Prescott is coming back after the injury. How's he going to play? Well, you also got to remember, even when Dak Prescott was playing, the Cowboys were still not good, and he was having a historic year, Nate. He was on a run for a historic year as a quarterback, and they still weren't winning. Okay? Because the Dallas Cowboys defense is just not that great. It was just not great last year. It wasn't. I'm going to be honest with you. Philadelphia Eagles did not have a great defense last year. The Giants had a good defense, but they lacked an offense. I'm being real. They lacked an offense. The Washington football team, last year they lacked a little bit of offense, but they had that defense, and that defense was special, Nate. And they added more to this offense. They got Curtis Samuel now. They have, obviously, there's J.D. McKissick. There's Antonio Gibson. They have Terry McLaurin. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick again. I think that is kind of an
And Kurt
upgrade.
Samuel.
Yeah, I said that already. I said Curtis Samuel already. They have they again Ryan Fitzpatrick, which I think isn't. I think that if we're going by last year, that is an upgrade from Alex Smith. But again, this is a new year. I think if that offense can improve a little bit more than what they did last year, I think the Washington football team takes this division for a second year in a row. And they got Ron Rivera, who's a good head coach. So I got the heads. I think Washington's going to take this division. I think they're going to go to the playoffs again. But with that being said, we're talking about Ryan Kerrigan and going back to him. I really do think that is an upgrade for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Ryan Kerrigan could have a great impact on the Philadelphia Eagles if they use him wisely and they use him the correct way. So with that being said, I wish Ryan Kerrigan the best of luck in Philadelphia. I wish the NFC East the best of luck, and we'll see how the season turns out for all of them.